So I never want anyone to think like, oh, I just like decided one day to become debt free and it just happened. I was doing a lot of work behind the scenes and without really anyone knowing to get to a point where I could say at the end of 2019, hey, I think I could pay off all of my remaining debt, which at that time was about $23,000 in 1 year. Hi everyone, this is Sania El-Amin of Flynanced. I am passionate about all things personal finance, travel, and really see myself here to help other women of color, especially working women, find financial freedom so that they can travel more often and say yes to more of the things that bring them joy. So I'm really excited to share that as of July 2021, I did it. I saved and invested in my first $100,000. And I will say this has really been a journey that has really taken me the last 3.5 years. So I am someone who historically was an overspender and really struggled with credit card debt and managing my credit card debt. I also was a person who took on student loans that in hindsight I didn't really need. So I had to become intentional about eliminating and reducing my debt. Really laying that foundation is what allowed me to be able to aggressively do it. That was number one. I think number two was I had to increase my income. So I was definitely making a great salary in 2019, but in 2020 I really put it out to the universe to say, I'm gonna need some help to make this happen, right? This is before I started a business. I was just relying on my, my one paycheck. And I did transition into a higher paying job that helped me earn $30,000 more in 2020. Then came COVID-19. That really allowed me to put a lot of disposable income towards my debt. Being able to live in a city like New York City where I lived with 2 roommates, I took public transportation, there was not a lot going on because of the lockdown. All of those things were lifestyle choices that allowed me to have a lot more disposable income to put towards my debt. When I got a tax refund in 2020, I put almost all of that towards my debt. Whenever I would get unexpected money, I would put that towards debt. This is what allowed me to do it and make it work without me feeling miserable. One of the first things I did was actually just like get a budget worksheet, and literally what I did was I filled in for every category. It was asking me like, how much is your rent? How much is your insurance? How much do you spend on groceries? And really started to calculate and really see it, in real life. From there, I was able to create a zero-based budget. So that allowed me to say, I need to give every single dollar that's coming through my paycheck, give it a job. Having that zero-based budget and then combining it with what I like to call destination budgeting, essentially creating a framework for my money to say, okay, I have multiple accounts where my money is going to flow into. Really assigning and automating money to go into different accounts was a life changer for me. Travel hacking is definitely a way that helps me balance my financial goals in travel by putting expenses that I would normally already have onto a travel rewards card and getting those points. I'm able to fly for free, stay in rooms for free, and really reduce the amount that I have to kind of put out in cash for travel. I think me really changed my mindset around travel not only being an expense, but being something that can also help me get closer to my financial goals and really being part of like my overall financial life. I will say that the amount that I've contributed to my retirement savings has definitely evolved as I've become debt-free. From 2017 through 2020, I never contributed more than 10% of my paycheck to my 401k, right? I was benefiting from having a company match, and I was contributing the minimum amount to get my company match. At the end of 2020, I became debt-free. So for the first time, I had a lot more disposable income. So I wanted to max out my 401k in 2021 during the summer. So literally in the 3 months that I was in Tulum, I was spending less than half of what I was spending, even living with 2 roommates in New York City. during that time, I started saving 40% of my paycheck towards retirement. That's something I would not have been able to do if I just kind of like stayed in New York. And here I was with this amazing backdrop behind me, like being in Tulum, right? So that was a very aggressive amount that I was contributing. That is not a recommendation at all, but that's what worked well for me. And again, that's why now I am sitting on almost $100,000 in my 401k alone.